Okay, let's see. All right, we are live. We are live. All right, I'm waiting for a couple minutes for people to jump on. And let me see here. Okay, we are live. Live in 85. Okay. All right. All right. Hey, Carol, how's it going? I'm just waiting a little bit for people to jump on. All right, we got a few on right now. Welcome to the Thursday Live show. I know I said we're going to do one 3 days. Hey, Carolyn, how's it going? I'm going to do a live show today, right now, Thursday, and tomorrow I'm not going to do a live show. I will do one Saturday night. It'll probably be a little bit late, depending on what time I get off work Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm going to do the movie review on A Bronx Tale. So if you're interested in being on the panel for that, just let me know. Shoot me an email, and I'll send you the link. And if not, I'll put the link up there during the movie review. So we'll do that, and that'll be fun. What I want to talk about tonight is it deals with interracial relationships, but and networking. I'm gonna kind of wrap up the networking thing. But what I want to focus on is yourself, self-love, being the best you can be, doing what's best for you, not best for the community, not best for the family, not best for your friends, not best for society, but best for you, the best option for you. And they always say to love somebody, you got to love yourself first, right? And I believe that to be true. And you got to put yourself first, especially when it comes to dating, marriage, and being with someone, the rest of your life. That's what marriage is supposed to be, right? So you want to be very picky on who you choose to be with. And but you got to put yourself first, because there's a lot of people out there that believe they know what's best for you, believe that they know what you should do. But at the end of the day, it's you and that person you choose to be with. And they're not going to pay your bills. They're not going to take care of you. They're not going to make sure you find a good husband or a good wife. All they're going to do is tell you what they think you should do. But it's not their life. It's your life. So you got to have that self-love to put yourself first. And don't listen to these dating gurus that tell you got to be all this and that. Be yourself, but be the best part of yourself. And when you receive rejection, that's, to me, just God's protecting you from that person that you probably shouldn't be with anyway. And you just got to look at it. People that find love, people that have a good marriage and stuff, they got to work at it. They got to come to God. They got to pray about it. They got to put in the work, and they got to find that person, right? And the so-called attractive people and people that we find beautiful or whatever, a lot of them, not all of them find love. Not all of them find good marriages. There's supermodels that grow old and alone. There's, guys out there that are celebrities, real good looking, that end up by themselves. Why does that happen? Um, maybe they don't do it the right way. Maybe they don't, you know, put in the work. Maybe they don't find out the person they're with. Maybe they're just looking at how attractive they are on the outside. Maybe they don't come to God. In the Bible, it says you have not because you ask not. You got to ask. And one thing I've always been good at, and I'm not good at a lot of things, but one thing I'm good at is asking. I'm a Christian, not the best. I have my flaws, but one thing I'm very good at is asking. I can pray to God and ask Him for a good wife, and I did. Asked Him for a good wife, and I did. Did I go about it the right way? Not always. A lot of mistakes I made along the way, and to me, we're flawed people. So, I got to come to God to help me out because I don't. I'm human. I do stupid stuff. I make mistakes. So I need that help. And especially finding a good wife because, and especially when we're young, we don't know what we really need or what we really want in a person. All we think about is they're attractive. It's nice to be around them. We have fun. And that's about as far as we go. And being honest, that's all of us. Very few of us dig deep and try to find that person and what we really need. But in order to do that, you got to put yourself first. Who are you living for? Are you living for yourself? You're living for the collective? Worried about what your neighbors think, your family thinks? If you live for everybody else, you're never going to be happy. You're going to be spending the rest of your life trying to please them instead of pleasing yourself. But, it's your choice. But you got to be strategic in that choice. And, you got to put yourself first. And, I know when we have families, we put our wife, our kids first. Yes, you do that. But when it comes to finding someone, you got to put yourself first because you're going to be happy with the one you want, right? And it makes no sense to hear some of these people telling these ladies to date down, marry down, lower your standards. Why? So you're not going to be happy with that person? Just so you could get a quick relationship, a quick marriage that don't last? So, my thing is, and I've heard people say this, that they'd rather have what they want than to settle for less. They would even rather be alone than just having to settle for less. And you got to put yourself first. And being realistic too. You're not going to be, how can I say this? Thinking realistic. When I was looking for a wife, I knew I wasn't going to marry a supermodel. I wasn't looking for that. I was reasonable. But I did believe I could have someone attractive and someone that loves me. And that's what I found. And most people are reasonable like that. I don't think most of these women on these shows really, only going to settle for a guy that makes 100,000. That's just super good looking. Same with the guys. Unless, there's some that are picky like that. Will only want, what they think's the best. But, you got to put yourself first. And a lot of times what I do is, I got to take care of, I take care of my family. My wife and kids always come first, way above myself. They're more important than I am, but I still got to take care of me. I still got to love me, and got to have that self-love. Hey, Selma, how you doing? You got to have that self-love. So a lot of times what I do is, most of the time I have off, I spend with my wife. But there's sometimes I got to spend time alone. There's sometimes I just got to get out and go hiking, maybe go fishing by myself, maybe just be by myself so I can clear my head, talk to God, just have me time, and, a lot of times that's what I'll do. And, you got to have that. You got to have the love for the self because if you don't, you're going to be miserable. But today, this morning, I got with my father and we went out on a hike. And I don't spend a lot of time with my father. And, it's kind of, it's a shame because, well, I'm busy, I'm working, and I'm trying to establish, trying to get to these last 10 years so me and Sandy can, live comfortably in our golden years, you might say. We live comfortably now, but I just want to provide a life for us to where we have, plenty to where we don't have to depend on our kids to help us out and we can be self-sufficient as long as physically possible, So that's what I'm trying to do. But I spent some time with my dad and he's 71 and he's up there in age, but he's healthy. He takes care of himself and he goes hiking around. And that's probably why I do it so much because when I was little, he took me everywhere. And me and my dad went all over the state. And we'd go out of state. We'd go hiking, camping, fishing. That's what we did. And that's what I do. And sometimes I, take the family, but sometimes I go by myself. Sometimes you got to have that me time, And we all need that at times, but you got to put yourself first. And I just went on a hike with my dad, and I got a couple videos I'm going to show you. My dad's not in it; he's not real photogenic, and he really don't do the camera thing. But I'm going to show you a couple videos. I'm not going to make it too long, but it's a place in New Mexico called Bandelier, and it's going to be it's up around Los Alamos, New Mexico, and it's about 7,000 feet above sea level. And what it is they have carved carved out holes in the side of this mountain and these rocks. It's made out of sandstone. And Native Americans back in the day, back in the 1200s to 1700s, lived in these caves, these man-made caves. And sandstone is real soft. You could dig through it, and they would dig out little shelters. But they would build, actual buildings around it too, as a defense. And these were Pueblo Indians, and they were mainly farmers, and they didn't roam around. They pretty much stayed in, a certain place. They farmed, they built their houses, they would stack them and have ladders as a defense. So if other tribes would come and attack them, they would have a defense. And sometimes they build on the side of a mountain as a defense also. So what I'm going to show you is an area where they used to do that, and they used to, dig little caves and build their buildings around it, and it's real neat. I didn't take a lot of videos. I took more than what I'm going to show you, but I don't want to just go into just showing videos on this. But I just want to show you what I was doing today, and I like to get out. And you get a little exercise. And with me, you look in these videos, you can tell I can lose some weight big time. And, it's just good time to get out and clear my head. I spent time with my father today, but a lot of times I go here alone in different places. But I'm going to show you the end of it and then kind of the middle. And you'll see some people out there on the trail. and stuff, and it's in a canyon, and there's a stream that runs down the middle of it. I didn't take no photos of the stream, but you'll see the side of the cliff and you'll see the trail. But let me go ahead and show you this real quick. And there's me on a ladder, and you can see what they would do is they would use ladders to get up there, and then when they got up there, they could pull up the ladder and nobody could get up there. But here's a little video of what I was doing today. You see me okay?
Yeah.
All right, how's everybody doing? We're getting ready to climb up these ladders up to, we're gonna go all the way up the cliff, and there's only so far we could go because of COVID restrictions and stuff, but I'm just showing you how they got up these cliffs. They'd make like ladders and build their defense, and once you got to the top, you could pull your ladder up and whammo. Anybody that wanted to do you harm, it'd be very hard to do so. But I just wanted to show you a little place where we're going hiking today, and just wanted to get out. Nice cool day finally for once. But you know, our trip's about over. Had a good time with me and my dad, and you know, I just want to show you a little bit about what I do when I do get some time off. But anyway, good talking to you, and see you in the next video. Okay, so there was a ladder on the side of the cliff, and it was kind of restricted on how far we could go because of COVID restrictions. So we couldn't go all the way to the top, and there were people out there walking around. I wish I could have given you guys videos of that. It's really neat. There's you know, they carved into the mountain with the sandstone, and they have a kiva in there where they would have ceremonies and stuff, and it's real neat. But they have it you know, cut off because of COVID. They don't want, you know, groups of people gathering in there, and it's kind of a shame because that would have been fun to show you guys. And I really wanted to go in there, and but you know, they kind of stopped us at the ladder, so I took a little video there to tell a little bit. Now I'm going to show you a video where it's on a trail, and you'll see people walking around, and you'll see some Native American art, some petroglyphs. If you look real closely where they've carved in there, and you know, drawn pictures, and this stuff goes back. This was back as far as the 1200s, so that's long before you know, the Europeans came over, the Spanish, and then the English later on, and you know, the French and all that. But I mean, this goes way back, and you know, you can go up there and actually dig through that sandstone. It's soft. You can carve out, and that's what they did. And a good way to have shelter from the elements and defense from any enemies they might have. You know, and maybe a bear comes and tries to attack them. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to show you this video here, and it's on a trail, and it'll show a little bit about it.
All right, here's another video of the trail. You can see the cliff here, and you see carvings inside the rock where houses were built. And you see some of over here, some of the ruins that have, you know, washed away through the years, through, you know, natural process, rain, wind, snow. You look here, and they had it built up on the cliffs and stuff. And if you look closely, some at the wall, if I could get it, you can faintly see it.
Okay. You see there, if you look closely to the wall, you can see some art, some like pictures drawn in. It's kind of hard to see that have been done centuries ago. It's kind of neat. But if I could went further in, you would have seen more, and it'd be more visible. But due to the restrictions, you know. But anyway, let me continue on here.
There's some petroglyphs, some artwork done. But, you know, here's the trail here. And as you can see, we're in a big canyon here. Really nice. Nice area, defense. Down below here in the tree line area, you got a little stream running down. So they did have their water source too. So good area for defense, good shelter, digging in the sandstone.
Okay. So that's just a little bit of what I did today. Me and my father, like I said, he didn't really want to get in the video and stuff, and I'm not going to force him to, but we had a good time, and it was a good father and son day. I don't get to spend a lot of time with my father due to work and being busy. But that's what I do. I go out there to different places like this, and you know, I love history. I love, you know, learning about what people did centuries ago, and these Native Americans, how they would build you know, they would carve into the, you know, the wall on the side of this mountain here and build their shelters. And also they would build buildings around it too. So yeah, they were like apartments. Yes, exactly. And they had ladders. If you studied Pueblo Indians, that's what they did. They were mainly farmers. They grew corn and different types of food. And if you looked at the area where I was showing you, they lived by the cliff for the defense. And down below in the tree line, there's a stream running through there. So they had water all year round. And even the most driest years when they dry up, you could dig a few feet and get water. They always have water. And, you know, so that was a perfect place. And it's in a big canyon. So you got natural defense, you got water source, you could grow your crops. And that's what they did. And, you know, other tribes would come and attack them and try to raid them for their food. And, you know, there was, you know, battles going back and forth between Native American tribes. But, you know, I like to go in there and study that type of stuff. That's my me time. That's me, you know, having self-love, doing something for me. Sometimes you got to do something for you. And a lot of times we put others before us, and we should put others people first, of course, especially our wives and family, but you got to have your time. And, you know, when it comes to dating relationships, it's about you. You're number one. Put yourself first. What's best for you? You know, if it means interracially dating or marrying because you think that's the best option. I'm sorry. Hold on. I got to take this as my wife. Hello? Oh, okay. I'm just doing a live right now. Oh, no worries. No, he didn't. I um okay. Okay, thanks. Wait. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My what's going on? My wife called me. She's you remember when I had Cohen on the show? I'm sending them a hockey jersey, you know, just as a friendship, a good gesture. And she was trying to send it to him, and I was late getting that out. But she's trying to send it, and they needed a number. So that's what was going on with that phone call. Sorry about that. But anyway, what I was talking about, you got to put yourself first. When it comes to dating, marriage, you're number one. It's your world. It's not theirs. Don't listen to these guys that say you're going to hit the wall at 30, 40. You know, God don't look at you like you're hitting the wall. And if you're hitting the wall, that's because you're knocking it down. You know, because these people that tell you you're hitting the wall, they're the ones that's going to be at the club at 65 trying to hit on some 25-year-old woman thinking they still got it and not having a family, most of their income going to paying child support from a woman they couldn't marry. So don't listen to people like that. Put yourself first. And, but I always say date out, explore the options. I mean, you might find some Asian guy that's, meant for you. Or, some white guy or some Hispanic guy or whatever. I mean, it's your choice. It's your decision. It's your life. Live your life for you. If you don't, you're going to be miserable. And I've heard so many people tell me, especially when it comes to interracial relationships, they'll listen to their family and friends and end up dumping that person and then be heartbroken because they did so, thinking that that's the best choice. You can't live for society. Society's so screwed up as it is. You try, you're never going to please society. But you got to put yourself first. And if you don't, you'll never be happy. And, like one lady said, told me on an email, she says, you know what? I'm going to date who I want, or I'm not going to date at all. I'm either going to have somebody or I'm going to just be alone because I want what I want. And, I agree with that. I mean, because a lot of times people do settle for less because, a lot of us, and everybody has self-esteem issues at one time or another, right? And a lot of us do. We have low self-esteem, think we're not all that, and we can't get no one better, so we settle for this person, and then our heart's not in it, and we end up in a breakup or divorce, and guess what? We went nowhere. And I don't think most people are out there, might have a little weight and expect to have a supermodel for a wife or a movie star looking guy for a husband. I mean, there's some people out there like that, but, most of us are reasonable. But, I would just say live for you. Don't listen to these dating gurus. Listen to the man in your life that loves you. Your father, your brother, your grandfather, some man that wants you to have everything that life has to offer, that just don't want to fill your head up with stuff. One that don't believe you've hit the wall, that, you're a lost cause. And that's how, some of these channels talk to these women like, you're going to hit the wall because you're 30 or 40. What is that? But a man that's over 50, making 100,000 is good to go? I don't know. Just know this: men hit the wall just as easy as a woman will. In fact, much harder. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. There's a link on there if you guys want to come on and talk a little bit. If not, I'll close the show in a few minutes, but I'll leave the link up there if you do want to. Okay, there's April. Hey, April.
Hey, Brent, how are you? Very inspiring words you're speaking today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just got to thinking, a lot of times we don't love ourselves like we should. We listen to what people tell us. We take advice. A lot of times we make decisions based on what other people think we should do rather than what we want. Rather than, and I look at these dating sites on YouTube, these dating gurus, these image experts. I'm not going to throw names out there. But I look at some of them criticizing these women, telling them to hit the wall, and coming from a person that's not all that themselves. I mean, I just
I agree. I think if you are an adult and you're still taking information from other people on your personal life, you need to have some self reflection inside yourself, because if you're constantly seeking other people, what do you think of this? What do you think about that? What should I do here? Then I don't think that you yourself are ready to be in any relationship with anyone, because that's just really not how it goes. It's really, you have to do the inner work and it'll come naturally. It'll come naturally. You have to put yourselves in natural situations, and that comes from just loving yourself. If you love to hike, if you love books, if you love to dance, if you love art museums, you put yourself in the things that you enjoy doing, and then the men or the women that you're manifesting that you want to attract, they will come in your circle. You just have to open your eyes and be prepared for it. But I agree, there's only so much information and insight that you can get before you actually just take the information and move with it. So I think, at what point do you keep recycling the same regurgitated notions before you start applying those scenarios and those, you know what I'm saying, Brent? I just think
yeah,
it can be at times it can definitely be, some are doing it for a gimmick, definitely some are in it for, because women are very emotional, and
yeah,
we depend on, we value men's opinions, whether we vocally say it or not. We do value what men think of us. That's just across the board. I know I would want a man to tell me or let me know things that he didn't like in a woman, so that I would know if I'm the best fit. That's different from tearing a woman
yeah,
down based on skin tone, texture, or any of those things. We're talking about character. So I think, you have to really kind of wage on, is this person in a healthy relationship? Has this person had 5 to 10 plus years in a monogamous relationship? Does this person, can you go and find 6 or 7 people in their community that can say that they're walking like they're talking? And so a lot of times women, we tend to be emotional, and we tend to gravitate to what men say, because that's what we're attracted to. Those who are attracted to men tend to listen to the perspectives of what men think and feel, and vice versa. You'll find men adapt to female channels because they're attracted to females. So they're trying to get insight on how to be better partners, and there's nothing wrong with it, but there's a thick line when it comes to, giving constructive advice versus, you're tearing someone down. So I do think, loving yourself is important, because if you don't like yourself, it's going to reflect. And I really, for me, I don't like the word interracial, the word mix, all of those things are just draining, because I think they just have so many negative connotations with them, or so many stressful scenarios with them. And so for me, I just envision just it happening natural. No matter who that man is, it's just going to be natural, and we're going to like each other. And it shouldn't be all of these hoops. It shouldn't be
yeah,
all of this extra stuff. If you like a person, you just like a person. And I really think you should do more personal videos like you're doing. I think it inspired me to kind of like say, let me really kind of start getting the ball going on some things. But I definitely agree. We have to consider where we're getting our sources from, and also how the information and what we're receiving, how does that make us feel at the end of it? You
yeah,
know?
yeah, no doubt. And Yeah, women do value men's opinion, and men, we value women's opinion, of course. I mean, it makes you feel good if a woman tells a man that, you know, complimenting good things, and same thing with a woman to a man. Even if you're not attracted to that, just because it's coming from a man or a woman, it means a lot. And a lot of times, a lot of us carry low self-esteem, and a lot a lot of times it's just a natural thing. We think, um, well, and there's people that got big egos and think they're all that also, but a lot of us, we have self-esteem issues at times, and a lot of us believe, and a lot of these women believe that, if someone's saying something to you, kind of putting you down, they believe it's true because they have some low self-esteem. Like, tell him to date now because he's not looking at you because got you're at a certain age, or you're not
Right. That's conditioning to me. Yeah, I
yeah,
think that's a form of continuing to condition. That would apply to women that definitely have a low self-esteem, that don't think or value themselves inwardly. Absolutely.
yeah, and and people play off that. And it's a sad thing because some people will settle for less because they believe that's all they can get. And finding that quality person takes a little time. And I believe God, puts rejection and puts struggle in front of us so we can work to get there. And when we do get there, we appreciate it so much. I mean, before I met my wife, I went through rejection. I went through, issues where, I was down, or self-esteem issues. It's a natural thing. But you know what? Once I found my wife, and we have our family, I was so grateful. I appreciated it. I thought,
Exactly.
God blessed me more than I deserved. And if it was
Exactly.
easy, and if there was women, just I could take my pick, would I really appreciate it? Would I even be in a good relationship? Um, so I think people need to look at that. And a lot of these women that are on these shows that are put down are actually beautiful women that, they do have their issues. I have my issues, but I'm looking at it like, hey, these women ain't that bad. I mean, but we have a false image that the woman's got to be perfect in every way and be, a supermodel, I guess. And if we
Yeah.
make 100 and some
Yes.
thousand as a man, we can pick whoever we want. Well,
Right.
like, you could have someone that's attractive on the outside that looks beautiful, but with that age gap and stuff, does she really care about you? Or does she
Exactly.
care about your resources? And
Exactly.
and it's not wrong for a woman to want a man with resources. Nothing wrong
It's
with that.
not.
But you gotta have that love connection also. Um,
Right.
but I just think
And I
women,
believe that a lot of older men already know that a lot of younger women, um, I mean, I've spoken to a lot of young Generation Z girls, and they're just, a lot of them are just in it for the monetary benefits. So, and some of the things that they tell me offline, that I'm like, wow. It's not a bad, it could be construed as a bad or a good thing, but most of the young girls are aware that these older men themselves have hit a wall.
yeah,
And I don't know, I don't think a wall, when people say hit the wall, I'd say hit the wall is not a thing, it's a feeling. You have to feel like you hit something. And usually you would feel that as if you've ran through life, if you ran through your 20s and your 30s, or you could feel like you hit the wall at 25. You could feel like you hit the wall at 30. It depends on each individual person and how they define what hit the wall means. Hit the wall means what? You can't have children, you're a certain age, what does that mean? So hit the wall for means different things. Maybe you had 3 children or 4 children, and you've never married, and you feel like, okay, I'm 30, I've hit the wall, I have 4 children, no husband. Maybe you feel like you've hit a brick wall where you don't realistically think that's a viable option. So
Yeah.
I just think you would need to change your mindset and say, I need to find a man who also has children, and we can blend our families in together. That's really what I think is not being said. It's not about, well, ideally you want a man with no children. You could possibly, it may not be something you're able to, every man may not want a woman with 3 or 4 children, and that's fine. But then what other solution could you offer that man or woman? You could say, have you thought of speaking with other men that have children around the same age as your children and getting to know him and
Yeah.
blend your families together? And then also this notion that this high income or high, I know so many people that are married, and they combine their incomes, their little 6 figures, they have to combine those so that they can stay in their $250,000 homes and send their children to private school. So I'm not really certain where this notion is that a lot of women are stay-at-home moms. There's a lot of women that work and they're married, and they combine their incomes because they
Yeah.
have a common goal. Their common goal is family. And I think all of this notion of tradition, I don't even think people really know what tradition is. I think people really just use that word so loosely. But most women are working women. They have careers, their spouses have careers, and they combine their money so they can have a strong family structure, so they can live in the communities they desire, they can get the education that they want for their children, they can have the retirement and the community that they want to create. And so I don't know where this whole thing, I want a man to take care of me, that's great, you can find that,
Yeah.
but to tell women that, that's your main purpose is to stay at home, have children, and that may not be every woman's vision nor every man's vision. So I think that's also something to talk about too. You just can't really go with that whole, he's going to be making 6 figures is only $100,000.
Yes.
That's
And
all 6 figures is. 6 figures is just starting at 100,000. So
yeah.
yeah, it's just 100,000, and most people that want to live in sustainable communities that they don't have to worry about certain issues, you're going to have to at least have 300. That's a $300,000 home. Some people want $500,000 homes, and they have to combine their incomes in order to sustain that lifestyle. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I just didn't
Yeah.
know if people knew in America that couples they just work together under understanding that this is the way that we will have our family structure. You get me?
Yeah. No, I perfectly get you. And I, I totally get what you're saying. And I just want to hit up the self esteem issue you're talking about, hitting the wall. Sadly, a lot of people do think they've hit the wall, and even very young ages, like you were saying. I mean, there's teenagers that commit suicide because they break up with a boyfriend or girlfriend. They feel they hit the wall and they haven't, and it's sad. And I hate to see people feeling like they hit the wall, like there's no chance for them. Just think about this: if you're a man or a woman, there's a if you're a woman, you got kids, a single mother. There's a man out there that's single that's got kids too, and men and women,
Exactly.
we mirror each other. You can't go
Hmm.
in on a woman that's a single mother with kids because there's a man out there that ain't taking care of those kids or helping.
Exactly.
So I mean, a
And
lot of
vice versa. And some man may be out there, he may be divorced, he may be single, and he's an active father, and he may not, it really can. I think people need to open the options of not picking, like you were talking about, the builder Brad. You know, it's not, you can't build a man. If you want to build a man, oh my gosh, that's just, no one should be building anyone. The man should already come together when you've met
Yeah,
him. You know, I don't believe that you can build anyone and you can package. He has to be this tall. He has to look this way. What about his character? That's
yeah,
what we're external first, but what about the internal character? What is it? Is he family oriented? What goals do you have? That's another thing. Is he goal oriented? Is he ambitious? Is he wanting to, what does he see himself? Where does he see himself in 20 years? In
yeah.
5 years?
I
You know?
agree. I agree.
Hey, Miss Know It All.
Hey, Miss
And
April Rain. Hey, pretty girl. How are you? Hi, Brent.
I'm good, beautiful. I'm so glad someone else is up here. I was just yakking away.
Can I? You wanted to say something, Brent? Because I wanted to expound on what Miss
yeah,
April
I
said.
wanted to just say something real
Go ahead.
quick.
Go.
Yeah, and she's right. You can't build a Brad or build a Keisha or build a Tyrone or a Chang Lee or Maria or whoever you're interested in. You can't build these people. I always use that analogy because my daughter took so much care when we went to Build-A-Bear that it was so important. And if it was a perfect world, you could build whatever you wanted, but you can't. People are flawed. But you've got to take those qualities that are more important. They might not be the best looking, but maybe they have good qualities. They're loyal, they're hardworking, and maybe they work hard, but they're making 60,000 and not that 100,000 you're going for. You got to kind of, and same thing with the women. You want a woman that's real beautiful, and well, this real beautiful woman don't really have much character. She's not loyal. So maybe I'll go for the one that's, attractive, but maybe not as beautiful on the outside, but inside she's got it all together. And I always told my daughters that because I wanted them to think about, what do you really want and what do you really need? Attraction and looks. I mean, that's great, but you need more. But yeah, I just wanted to iterate on that. And
Yeah. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead, Miss Know-It-All.
Yeah, and everything you guys are saying is so much facts. And I wanted to talk about what Miss April Rain just talked about. Build a guy. I know for myself from personal experience as well as relatives, there's no return on investment, especially with a certain group of demographic of men. And I'm not going to get into that, but I've seen women ride or die, build a dude, be that, breathe life into him, and they got no return on their investment. Because again, the conditioning, the indoctrination with us Black women. So I've seen women spend years with men and only for him to move on to the next best thing. And unfortunately, I understand why women are now talking about hypergamy, dating out with guys with wealth in six figures. But there's a reality to that. There's a caveat. Less than 10% of this country, people make over $100,000. Less than 10%. We all are not going to get, I don't even care if you're beautiful. Some beautiful women are not going to even get a six-figure guy. It's just facts. It's just reality. And I know this whole high value six figure came from that guy KS, and it's not reality. He only started really probably doing that after he did that, after his viewership went up, or just talking to other guys. Yes, a guy with more wealth, can he get a woman that's extremely, I mean, very attractive on the extremely attractive? Absolutely. But I see very attractive women go for the guy. I have a cousin, out of a 1 to 10, she's like a 20. I mean, like, God was not fair. He gave it to her. It wasn't fair. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But she's absolutely. And her man, their nickname is Beauty and the Beast. She makes more money. She's 1,000 times more attractive, and he's the one who cheated. He's the one who's unfaithful. He's the one who's not kind and disrespectful. And So all women are not looking for that, and every beautiful woman is not. Does some beautiful women have wonderful personalities? Some beautiful women, people like to demonize the pretty girl. No, a lot of times that comes from a lot low self esteem and like and the fact that she has options. See, I don't think one person is better than the other. I think are there women like my cousin, couple of my sisters, they had options. They had options I didn't have. I didn't hate on them. They just had more options. We all have options, but they just had more. And not all of them got the rich guy. Not all of them picked the rich, wealthy guy. Some of them went with the regular guys. Some of them was taking care of some guys. But I wanted to talk about what April said about building a person, the build a bear. You can't build anybody, because a lot of times when you build them up, their options open up. So if their wealth exponentially increase, if their status exponentially become more soar, if they become more popular, well known, they're gonna have more. You're gonna have more women coming after him. If Sandy was building you up so much, investing all that time to Brent, and now all of a sudden Brent is gonna have access to all types of women, all kinds of women, all kinds of temptation, and women are gonna be in Brent's face because he's doing well. He's making 150,000, 250, 600,000. You're gonna have access to more women, and there goes. You may fall, you may be weak, and it'll make you weak, and you might do something you're not supposed to do. So maybe, and again, April said 2 incomes is better than one. 2 incomes, you can live very comfortably. You don't have to live like the rich and famous. You don't have to have the ginormous house and the overly expensive vacations and vehicles. You can live. I know people who are very happy. I know some girls that are married to dudes who are stay-at-home moms, and the husband makes about 50,000, and they live comfortably because they budget and they save and they do what they're supposed to do financially. So 50-50 is not horrible, but 50-50 is not good. When you're asking me, we both going to work, I come home, you still want me to cook, clean, rear the kids, laundry, and I have an issue with that. So my thing is, a couple of nights a week, you need to throw a mop and a broom across that floor. A couple of nights, you need to either order or cook a meal. You're going to have to hit that laundromat sometime or do some laundry. You can't have 50-50 in submission. I think that's an issue and a lot of women got used. I know a lot of women that have gotten so used. They ride or die. They stuck it in, and they were only placeholders and filler-ins for these men. And they got these guys. They with their connections, they helped them find good jobs, filling out applications for them, doing all kinds of these things. And then these guys, they get a big head. They're washing their ass a little bit better. Excuse my language. They're getting haircuts now because of her. They're grooming themselves better. They're going to work more often. And in return, they give you nothing. So you don't get a return on your investment. I feel like even if we're in a relationship and we're going to go 50-50, I don't want to have to, if we get married and I help you gradually get even higher, okay, all right. But I'm not going to build you up, especially before marriage. That's what I had to say, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When I say 50-50, and I'm referring to like the upper class, when people like drive through those communities, I mean, quite frankly, these people actually have they're high earners, but their spouses just work, and they combine their money and they pay the mortgage, they pay the utilities, they vacation. And this is like, it's for the family structure. It's not, oh, well, if you do, it's just logical. And
Yes,
I
I
don't
agree.
really know. And as far as women, I mean, women have always had the second shift, which is, if she worked, the second shift would be when she returned home. So as a woman and you have children, that is still a part of who you are. And you do have a second shift. And so that's just a no-brainer. As women in general, we have a second shift, which is our family, which is taking care of our husbands, our homes, and our children. And you have to want to do those things. And typically most men and spouses do those things. They do the lifting, the bringing the clothes down. So there should be some sort of things working out. But again, it depends on, if you're just looking for a man to take care of you, to take care of what? And so
Exactly.
I'm going to also be honest, wealthy men do not disclose their wealth. You wouldn't, I'm pretty sure we walk by wealthy people. We just never know they're wealthy. They don't look wealthy. They
No.
don't dress wealthy. They don't
Mm-mm.
brag. They have humility, and they know people that have things don't go around bragging about it, because that's how you
Exactly.
become a mark. So most wealthy people, I think a lot of people on the outside look in to those that have financial wealth and make all of these assumptions on their lifestyles based off of television. But most wealthy people, you would never know they had that kind of money, because they don't disclose it. They're very discreet, and they were taught the codes of, this, what happens when you brag, what happens when you disclose that you have all of this. You open yourself, and you're making yourself vulnerable
Yes.
for an attack, spiritually, financially, and psychologically. You're going to have all, not just women, but you're going to have people coming wanting to network with you. And so I just think at the end of the day, this whole money thing, um, I just didn't know that people didn't know that, most people work, and they have to work, because in order for, if they want to live in a certain location, if they want, like I said, their children to have a certain education or
Mm-hmm.
experiences and extracurricular, you're going to have to combine, because those things aren't cheap.
No,
If
it's
you want
not.
your children to go to a private school, those things are not cheap. So
No.
and you some people are okay. There are couples that are okay with combining their incomes, that because they're family oriented, and only people that are family oriented would understand what I'm coming from.
Absolutely. And Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, who else? Mark Zuckerberg, they're multi billionaires. And they didn't marry the baddest woman on the, or not to go back to the looks. And it's not always about looks, just and like you said, yes, they don't talk about their money, they don't talk about their wealth. And even like from the Rockefellers to the Morgans, from JP Morgan, they don't talk about money. They don't discuss it. And like you said, right, regular average people like us, two incomes is better than one. How do I expect to meet a man, we both work, and then ask him, well, you pay for everything, and I cuff my money and put it to the side? It wouldn't make sense. I mean, unless he really, and like I said, less than 10% of the country make over $100,000, and only 1 to 2% of the country are millionaires and billionaires. So the reality, I think a lot of people are, but I think this is what I think of those guys who talk about it, and the demographic of men that Kevin said, that KS people, you know what they are. I think it was Sinji's analogy. They would have got kids that got free lunch because their moms couldn't afford it, and the minute their mom got a better job, and now they're off free lunch, and their moms gave them money to pay for their lunch at school. They feeling themselves. They feeling like, yeah, I don't got free lunch. Look at this couple of dollars my mom gave me to pay for lunch. And it was a great way to describe how it is. It's like their new money. They feel like I came into $100,000. They think they're wealthy. $100,000. Live in New York with $100,000. That's absolutely, it's really not much. I mean,
Bingo. Oh no, you just said something that made me think. You hit it on the head. Why would a man think that you make a certain amount of money, you can have what you want?
mhm.
Maybe because they didn't have it before, and like you said, new money. Now you're famous. Now you got money. Now you're shopping at high profile stores in Beverly Hills or whatever, and it's all new. So now you feel like you can have anything you want because you have more economic wealth than you've ever had your whole life, and
Mhm.
that can hurt you. And if
Mhm.
you think about it, uh, when it comes to people that inherit, a lot of money that never had it, or win the lotto, what happens?
They're
A lot of
broke.
people go bankrupt. Why? Because they never had that much money. They don't know how to handle it. They they
Exactly.
go, they go and buy stuff that not that they need, but they can have it just because they can do it.
Mhm.
And then taxes come in, and then they're not budging in it. They're just buying what they want. And if you look at someone that's been wealthy their whole life, they don't go on spending sprees. They don't go on shopping sprees. You know, they'll have a nice home and nice cars, but they don't go buck wild. And
Or they hire financial advisors if they're smart.
yeah, to help them manage the money because, you know, to keep that wealth. And no, I just wanted to put that in there because you hit the nail on the head when you said new money and high value. Money is not make you high value. That just makes you someone that has more access to resources.
And someone in the chat said something about, you know, they talk about winter is coming. All this happening because it's and like I think when I walked into the live, April was talking about these talking points. It's like it's a scare tactic to say you need to fall in line and be with these these dusty Pookie Ray Ray Tyrones and settle for them. Don't date out. Just settle for what you can get because you're gonna be alone. Like and April said it best. When I graduated high school and then went to the college, marriage and children was the furthest thing from my mind. I didn't want to run out and make babies and get married. Even when I got into my mid-20s, I still wasn't like, oh, I never felt that, oh, you know, I hit the wall and I needed to get married. That's not every woman's aspirations. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go places. I wanted to do things. And it's like they put every woman in that box because they sold us that fairy tale princess thing. They sold us the princess thing that you grow up, you meet your prince, you get married, you have children, and it's not realistic and it's not viable in this day and age, especially in our community, meaning black women's community is not. It's just the ratio, the number is too many, first of all, women to men. It's too many of us heterosexual. It's too many women to find a working heterosexual college educated or you know successful guy in our communities. It's not realistic, and they sell black love to black women. They sell that black love through the movies, through indoctrination in music, movies, you know, talk shows. They trying to sell it to you, but they're only selling it to us. They're not selling it to our natural counterparts. And it's a problem. It's an issue, and they making us feel like we're hitting the wall. They're making us feel like, okay, I didn't get married by this point. I didn't have children at this point. Even when I was in my 30s, I still wasn't stressed out about not being married or having children. So my point is that everybody's story is different. Everyone is not going, you know, some people are perfectly happy with no children, never been married, and living their best life. They're doing them. They're being their best version of themselves, and they're happy. Some women. It's just that we've been marketed, we've been told, indoctrinated. Well, something must be wrong with her. She don't got a husband. No, there's nothing wrong with her. It just wasn't on her priority list.
I love Miss Carol's comment. Winter time is a great time. I love wearing my boots and dressing cute. I thought winter was coming was from Game of Thrones. I thought that whole thing. I never saw the show Game of Thrones, but I saw the thing. Winter is coming, and it was a promo for. It was like the last season of this show, and everybody was having watch parties and losing their minds. So I thought winter is coming was something that was a promo for Game of Thrones. So I never heard of winter is coming until I came into YouTube and I heard it. So I didn't know what that meant until people were, I still don't quite understand what winter is coming means. I don't know. I can get an idea of maybe what it means, but I still don't. You know, I thought it was didn't Game of Thrones have like an advertisement or something with winter's coming?
I think
it was a dope cover. It was real. I'm like, the graphics were beautiful. I'm like, I don't care for this show. I don't watch it. I can't get into it, but it was like winter is coming, and I think it was the Game of Thrones. It said GOT. It was the final season. So I thought they were taking something from that movie or that show. I still don't understand what winter is coming means.
I don't understand it either. I think what they're trying to say is it's going to be cold out there. You're going to be alone if you don't. Maybe I don't know. I haven't watched it, but I'm guessing maybe because you don't date down and toe the line, so you're gonna be left out in the cold. I think that's what it's referring to. I want to address something. Sun Goddess Ari, she's saying there's a guy that she misses and she's depressed. Um,
Does she
just
want to come
know,
up and talk about it, or?
Good.
I don't know. You can. Hey Ari, if you want to come up and talk about it, you can. But just know God will take care of you. He'll give you that special guy. You know. Gosh, I mean,
Yeah. It's tough when you're younger. It's like it's the end of the world when it does. It feels like it. And then you wake up, you're 23, and you're like, I can't believe I thought that way. So I'm
yeah,
sorry you're feeling that way.
I had a girlfriend back in high school that I was into big time. Man, I love this girl. And I thought she was interested in me. And she kicked me to the curb. And I was so depressed. And then my dad, and he's like, what's wrong with you? You're moping around. And, my dad's just straight to the point. And I said, well, she broke up. Okay, well, welcome to life. And he told me, pick your ass up and move forward. And I was like, really? You would talk to me like that? And I thought it was mean, but, he's kind of right. You got to move forward. Yeah, it's sad. Life,
Mm-hmm.
it sucks at times, many times, but you know what? You got to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And
I do think the one thing human beings have the toughest time with is the disappointment that other human beings provide to them or give to them, the disappointments. I think that's one of the biggest things and the biggest challenges as human beings that we suffer from is when people disappoint us.
yes,
And I would encourage Sun Goddess Ari, is I looked up a lot of quotes on disappointment, and I had like made little post-its, and they're on my mirror to this day. And they're just about when someone disappoints you, and if you think someone from your school or wherever in the teenage years disappoints you, wait until you are disappointed by someone you trust. I mean, it, it's just inevitable. I think Marilyn Monroe said it. She just said, it just depends the ones that are worth it. And so she said, the truth is, everyone will disappoint you. And that's true. People disappoint the ones they love every day. I disappoint myself sometimes,
Me
but
too.
it's a part of life. And
Yes.
if life was easy, everything would be easy going. And I think as human beings, we have to be up for the challenge and say, and Ari, you have to look inside yourself, because I've been reading a lot of your chats and you've been having a lot of concerns as it pertains to dating. And I think maybe this would be a good time for you to look inwardly to say, what is it that I'm doing or not doing that I'm attracting the wrong kind of energy when it comes to the guys I want to attract. So I think that might help you too, to be practice more discernment.
But you know what? Can I say something to that, Miss April? You're absolutely right, 100%. Ari, if you're listening, like she said, everything is heightened. Ari still is in high school, so Ari, everything is heightened. Everything seems like it's the end of the world, like April said. But when we fall down, we get back up. Yes, it feels this way, but the minute you meet someone new and they like you and they're taking care, they're treating you well and they're kind and nice to you, you're gonna forget all about that person you're hurting about. He's gonna be a distant memory. You'll barely remember him. You're going to be all right. It's just your feelings. You're young, and everything is heightened. Everything it seems like, oh God. And like you said, April said it right. Look inwards, because why are you so attached to them? Is there other reasons? Is it a dynamics? Is there certain dynamics with your family? Is it?
She said this guy has a girlfriend, so you're
Oh,
liking someone that's already emotionally attached to another woman. So
yes.
that's once that happens, you need to just digress. When
Yes.
someone's emotionally attached to another woman, you need to digress and leave that alone.
Yes, let him go. He obviously is not ready to commit to anyone. If he has a girlfriend and he's trying to see you on the side, I mean, you were never really his, and you just have to move forward. You're too young for it. You're a baby. Go ahead, Brent.
Exactly. And you know what? Just be the best you. And you know what? When you get with the right one, and then your life kicks off, they'll look years later and know the mistake they made. And you know,
Right. And
and
at
some
least he was honest. At least he was honest in telling you you said you liked him, he didn't like you back because he had a girlfriend. So that shouldn't be, you should, I don't really know the legit the actual story, but at least he was upfront in telling you where he was, and he didn't lead you to a place of where you could have been led down a path of even more hurt or disappointment. He could have led you on. He could have strung you along. He told you, "Hey, I have a girlfriend." So I admire a man who a man who tells me where he is rather than
Me
leads me to
too.
something where he knows it's going to lead me to the wall, a
yeah,
wall.
and you know what? Somebody said earlier that rejection is God's protection, and I
It
look back
is.
at that, and it is because there, I've had a couple girlfriends back in the day. I would have done anything for, and I was so into them. If they didn't reject me but led me on later on, they could have really hurt me bad, and it could have been devastating. So I mean, I just
But you know
sometimes.
what? Yeah, go ahead. No, no, no. I was going to
I
just say,
know, I
thank
know it's
God.
hard.
Go ahead.
I know rejection's hard to take. I mean, God, I take it hard myself. Um, I've always taken rejection hard. It just, but sometimes it's for the better, and
Mm.
sometimes God will throw that in there so you actually meet the right one. You know.
Yeah. And I was going to say, and thank God that he did tell you. Now you know how to move forward. And thank God you don't have children. You're not pregnant. Hopefully, you
Oh
didn't,
yeah,
and you didn't catch any STDs, especially something incurable. So think of it as a blessing. If he has a girlfriend, he probably seen other women. I hate to say that. I'm not going to say all men, Ari, but a lot of guys, they're at that phase, they have access to a lot of different women, and they're going to take advantage of it. They're going to do, especially this
yeah,
generation, they're going to take advantage of a lot of different girls. If you're willing to lay down with him, he's going to do it. It doesn't matter if he has 8 girlfriends. So it's
yeah.
good that you go ahead.
And I was going to say too, and the other woman probably, thinks she won, but actually she really lost because he's probably got a couple women on the side, you know. So it's better to get rejected than be strung along. I just say that. I mean, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no. I'm glad you said that, because, and I'm glad she's hearing it from a man. She needs to hear a man's perspective. She needs to hear it from, sometimes just hearing it from a woman is like blah blah blah, but hearing it from a man, yes. Thank God you didn't get, and being strung along for a long period of time only makes you feel like, oh well, maybe he's really. Can I say something? And I wish I could speak to all young girls. Just because someone gives you sexual attention does not mean love. Just because someone's willing to lay down with you does not love, Ari. Sun Goddess Ari. That doesn't mean he loves you. It's just, guys will put their dingling in a socket if it gave them pleasure. It's just how boys are, especially that age. I mean, around the age of guys you're dating.
Yeah, and
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you have the floor. Sexual attention is not love. Sexual attention is not love. It's not love. Just because they're willing to lay down with you, they'll say nice things to you to get you to lay down with me, and then be like, "Oh well, I'm done with you." Sometimes they do it because they want to impress their friends. Oh, I hit this girl. I hit that girl. You need to vet. You need to. You have to make sure. You need to hold out a little bit before you lay down with a guy to know that he's really truly into you. Go ahead, Greg.
yeah, no, you're totally right. And also, any guys watching too, women can play that game too. They can lay down with you and make you think that you're the man and just be filling that void till she gets to be with the one she really wants. So, I mean, it can go both ways too.
It's true. You are
Absolutely. And Sun Goddess Ari, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're looking for in a man? And that's something that a lot of the times we don't ask ourselves. What is it that we're looking for in a man or a woman? What is it that you're seeking
Hey,
besides a
hey,
6'8"?
April, I'm sorry, I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be right back. You guys go ahead and talk. I'll be right back in a second.
Sure. So yeah,
Okay.
Sun Goddess, I was just saying, like, what is it that you're looking for besides, I've read like I said, your post through previous podcasts, and it was, the external, but I never had an opportunity to ask, like, have you ever asked yourself, what qualities are you looking for? That should be number one. And then it'll help you a little bit better. I don't know, maybe Miss Know-It-All, you could shed some light on some ideas that can
ab-
help her.
absolutely. I think you live in the culture right now. Your culture, I think, I don't know. Our April, you're in your 30s or 40s, if you don't mind me asking.
I'm 40. I turned 40 in April.
Oh, congratulations! So you're in my club, but I got some
Yes.
years on you. So our generation. She's like the right before the millennial. I'm a Generation X. So we didn't have social media growing up. I didn't have it. Social media, um, and the internet, the World Wide Web. And what you're saying, you're inundated right now. Your generation is inundated with images, very hypersexual images. You're inundated with images of guys, demeaning, degrading women. And I think your generation internalizes it as that's love. Sexual attention, again, I'm gonna say it again. Just because someone gives you sexual attention, guys tell, even back in my days, guys will tell you exactly what you want to hear and what you want to, just to get what they want from you. And moving forward, take your time meeting the guy. You don't have to give it up, and just ask them. You could just ask them straight out, not aggressively. Obviously, you can ask them, "What is it that you want? Are you looking for a girlfriend, or are you looking just to have, a friend?" Ask them, "Do you want a girlfriend, or are you looking for to find a friend?" Don't just jump into it before you lay down with somebody, and because sometimes guys will be dead. Nowadays, guys will tell you the truth. I think April hit it on the nail. Sometimes they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you exactly who they are, and some of them don't want to play games, and they know that they'll just say, "No, I just want to just see where it goes. I just want to see where it goes. I just want to have fun. I just want something easy and light. I don't want a serious relationship." And if when they tell you that, that's your cue to say, "Okay, we could be friends, but you're not what I'm looking for." And
Exactly. And most guys will. They'll tell you what type, because relationships mean different things. Men will tell you a relationship may mean something different than what you may view it as. What does casual mean? And so if that guy tells you what he is, what he's looking for, it's up to you if you want to meet that person at that particular point in their life. Everyone doesn't want a monogamous relationship. People typically from 17 to 25, 26 are not really, they really kind of going around a merry-go-round typically at that age. That's typically in America, that's typically the norm. You're kind of getting your variety and seeing what's out there. So I encourage you to do some inner work, Sun Goddess Ari, on yourself, and self-love, self-patience, and kind of look inwardly on yourself and figure out, like, why am I attracting the very opposite of what I'm looking for? Because I don't know, I don't know what type of guy you want, other than you said you wanted them to be white, and that's just not going to be good enough. It's never been good enough, and that's not a good reason to date anyone. You should date someone because you're genuinely attracted to him, and he offers you something and you offer him something.
And she put in this in the chat that, "Oh, I want someone that's loving, friendly, affectionate, nice, confident, caring, and generous." And the love language. She said, she want physical touch and receiving gifts. Girlfriend, we all want that, but unfortunately, it's not. It doesn't all. We don't all get the package deal. So I think April said it right. Do some internal work with yourself. Find out, what's real, what's realistic, and you have time to. You know what you should do? You should more focus on getting to know who Ari, Sun Goddess Ari is, because you don't know who you are. There are 40-year-olds who don't know who they are at this moment. Get to know who you are, what you really like, what you really want, not what society and what you see. Oh, you're supposed to get a guy that has X, Y, Z, this, that. You need to love on yourself. Learn who is Ari. Ari, who are you? What do you like to do? What makes you happy? What gifts would you give yourself? What would you do? Focus on you inwardly. She's absolutely right. Stop. You can't do this. You can't project everything that you want in a man, and then when you meet a guy, maybe he has one or two things out of five must-haves you want in a relationship. Then you constantly going to be going through a lot of different men, a lot of different relationships, and you don't want that. Maybe you should step back and focus on Sun Goddess Ari. You focus on you, what you like. What do you want to travel? Do you want to do bungee jumping? Do you want to jump out of a plane? Do you want to volunteer at a homeless shelter? Do you want to help do some sustaining farming? What do you want to do? What brings you joy? Is not the beginning and the end of your joy. The beginning and end of your happiness. And a lot of women, we're sold that. We're told, oh, you're nothing without a man, and that's just not true. Sun Goddess Ari, you have to love on yourself and love who you are. Period. That's the first thing, and you're young and you have time to do that.
Yeah, and that's the blessing in it. You got plenty of time, but just be wise with it, because there's a lot of corruption out there. So you got to really vet these guys, regardless if they're white, black, whatever they are. I mean,
Yeah, and vet yourself. You have to start vetting yourself. Start self-checking yourself and saying, are the reasons, are your intentions, are they pure? Are your intentions meaningful?
yeah, and you got to be tough too. And sometimes you got to be willing to kick somebody to the curb that you actually want to be with if they're not doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, I just put that out there. I mean, if they're looking at you for, I don't know, they try to get intimate with you right away, or, and you might be so into them, you do it for them, thinking that they'll feel a certain way about you, but more than 9 out of 10, it ain't that way at all.
And people can definitely smell
desperation.
I'm looking for desperation. They can smell that, and you don't want to be desperate Annie, who is so desperate for it. Don't come, and they can smell that, and they'll exploit you for that. So
and they can smell vulnerability too.
Yes, that's the word. Yeah, vulnerability and desperation. You should never be desperate to be in a relationship with a man. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just not good. So I would encourage you to do some inner self work.
And put yourself first.
Yeah.
And remember, you're the most important person in your life. It's your world. And if you're going to let someone in it, they have to earn it. They don't just get a free pass because they're attractive. No. If they don't earn you, they don't deserve you. End of story. And if they're not all in, they don't need to be in at all. And if you're looking for a long-term relationship and marriage, if they're not willing to go that way, they don't need to be with you. And it's not something let's get to know each other and wait years down the road. Don't go into that trap either. A lot of people fall into that. A lot of women fall into that. Well, I'm not ready to get married yet. And then years go by, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 8 years, and you're still not married. that to me, I would say they don't really love you, because if they really do, they're going to find a way to be with you forever. And I married my wife, and I didn't have a big wad of money, and I was a new soldier in the army. I had a job. I wasn't making much, but I wanted Sandy to be my wife, and she was. And but I was all in. I wouldn't wait until I'm ready. And a lot of people use that, and a lot of those people that want to wait till they're ready will never be ready.
Exactly. I like Miss Carol when she said that her daughter is focused on her education and the
Folks.
things she's enjoying. But if you just stop focusing on yourself and focus on every man that's rejected you or turned you down, you're stopping your life from progressing because you're just ruminating in that same process. What's wrong with me? What did I do? Why doesn't he like me? Why am I not attracting? So that's a spiraling road you don't want to go down. You still want to remain active
And, and can,
within
mhm.
yourself.
and can
Yeah.
and can I add something to that? Sun Goddess Ari, also the fact that, and I hate to say it, but sometimes there are men who will take the best years of your life for years. They'll dangle that carrot. They'll keep you on the hook for years. And the next thing you know, you are 23, 27, 31, and you still with the same guy. And he's still saying, let's see where it goes. Let's see what happens. You don't want to attach yourself to someone. You know exactly, when he likes you and when you don't like you. It's showing you call him, he disappears for hours. That's not a guy that likes you. You call, or he doesn't call you for like 2-3 days. You didn't hear from him, or he's asking you to give you money and stuff like that, give him money or something, or if he's or he's secretive about like his conversations and talking and just he's not spending time with you. He's not. And it's not all about, you said you like gifts. It's not all about the gifts and him whining and dining you. That is a plus, and I love it. It has happened to me, but it's not the beginning, the end of love. It's just not. And at the end of the day, everything Brent said is accurate. Everything Miss April Rain said is accurate. Focus on you. Focus and like looking within to see why are you feeling this. I think it's pressure with your peers and what we see on social media in movies and stuff. It's a lot of pressure. You don't have to pressure yourself. You have a lot of time. Enjoy your life. You said in the comments you like traveling. Then go travel. Save up your money after high school. I mean, go to college, get you a summer job, save up, and take a girls trip with your girls. Have fun. Have fun. Have laughs. Have giggles. You don't have to focus everything about boys. Boys are not the beginning and end of your life. It's just facts. Ari is the beginning and end of your life. That's it.
That's right. And what she wants in life. And remember, ladies, you're the prize. You really are. And if the man won't let you be the prize, then you don't need him. You need to let him go. You know. But yeah, put yourself first, and that's what we all need to do as people. What do we want in life? Do they
Most
have?
teenagers don't. Most teenagers
Yeah,
don't.
no,
But if you want to set, from what you're saying, Sun Goddess, because I see you not only on this channel but through a lot of other channels, and if you um are setting yourself as a Generation Z girl who is detesting everything as far as opening the options and self-worth. I forgot what I was going to say, but I was just basically going to tell you that based off of the men that you say you don't want are the ones you're attracting. So I just think for me, the Generation Z girls that I'm encountering, they're about their books, they're about their careers, they're about getting into the colleges, they're about their physical health, they're about their mental health. And so that's what we're trying to say is that to get focused on your journey ahead of your adulthood. So, you know, education is very important. It will take you places, and you'll interact with people you've never thought you've interacted with. But
And the
you,
education give her access to quality men too.
yes, yes.
Yeah, it does. And some YouTubers say that college don't matter, that it's just a piece of paper. Or no, it does matter. Now, I would have married my wife whether she's educated or not, but it brings value. You know why? Both my daughters are educated. My son's educated. You know why? Because of the influence. You know, we made it important to them that education's important.
Hmm.
And not to say that's the only way, because some people, you know, learn a trade and they do very well and don't have college. I'm not saying you can't be successful without college, but it's always good to learn something. It's always good to have a skill. And, you know, I would say college, and this is my opinion when it comes to college, get something that's going to earn you money. What I mean by that is if you're going in the medical field and you go to college, it makes sense. If you're, in my opinion, if you go to college for business, but you don't really know much about business, that might not end up in a job. It might not end up in a career. Um, you know, there's certain degrees that you want to look at that maybe might not get you there. Um, you know, but if you're going to be a teacher, a doctor, a nurse, education, you know, that I always told my kids that make sure it's going to lead to something, because, you know, I could get, you know, a degree in basket weaving, but what's that going to get me? Uh, you know, so I look into that too, you know, when you're going in for college, make sure it's going to lead to something. And I'm not saying you can't go take college courses and stuff you just have fun with, but you know, you got to be career minded, especially in today's world. You know, if you want, you know, a home, you know, be able to provide for your family. And I'm not talking about being rich, and I'm just saying, you know, have a place to live, be able to take care of your family, and live a good life.
Ari, can I say something to you? Girls do and boys mature differently. So the guys that you want to date, they're not going to be everything that you want. But I'm not saying go for an older guy, because they can take advantage of you as well. And I'm not demonizing men, but boys, the guys, maybe the guys that like April Rain was saying you attract, you know, you're giving off a certain energy. So if you're young and you come off kind of naive or sensitive, or eager, they're going to take advantage of that. And these boys are immature. Their frontal lobe, both your frontal lobes are not even developed, and your frontal lobe is the part of your brain that acts, that gives you, that's controls your conscience. Good, bad, good decisions, bad decisions. So you both are not even at the point. And I saw in the comments you said your girlfriends have boyfriends committed. But everyone's time is not their time. Just because they have committed relationships doesn't mean it's going to last. And just because you're not in one doesn't mean you're not going to have a committed relationship. Again, boys and girls develop differently.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Miss Know-It-All, let me say something real quick. Um, Now we're on here on the live stream and we're talking to Ari, and you know, that's great and everything. But as we're talking to her, this applies to just about all of us. We all go through what she's going through. So if we're talking to her, let it sink in. The advice, I mean, you know, most women, you know, in America need the same advice. And guys, it applies to too, you know, putting yourself first. You know, we're giving Sun Goddess Ari some advice, and that's great. And I'm all for that. But those people watching, take it in too, because it could be good advice for you. You know, and heartbreaks, rejections, that special guy, that special girl, we all go through that.
yes.
and it hurts. Rejection, I don't care how strong you are, it's going to hurt you. I don't care who you are. If you're a man or a woman, or it hurts. And putting yourself first is a way you can move forward to get what you want out of life, what you need. Because when you come together as man and woman, you got to be all in, and you got to put that person above everything for it to work. And I just wanted to say that. I didn't want to get off track, like, and whoever we're talking to, we're not just going to that one person, but we're going to everybody, because it pertains to a lot of us. And, some of the stuff you guys are telling her, back when I was that age, I needed that advice, putting myself first. What do I want in life? Do I want to be with this girl that just looks beautiful, or just I think is great, but I don't really know her? Or you know what I mean? Or maybe I'm just the come up guy. They say, that girls, that guys use them as the come up girls. It goes both ways too. Both sides lead each other on until they get with that person they want to be with. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead, Miss Know It All.
No. I mean, if you want, but you're right. Everything you said is correct. It can apply to adults. It could apply to people our age and older. And you're right. There are females that will use a guy as a come up, and
Yeah,
that's why you have to learn discernment. Like April Rain was saying, vetting, talking to them, finding out, and not being afraid to ask the hard question. What is it that you want? What are you looking for? But like I said, April Rain said something spot on. She said, if you put yourself first, you will never be last. But I want to expound on that. Putting yourself first doesn't mean being selfish, not humble, mean, or just selfish in a negative way. It's just saying focusing on your education, focusing on, because that's a good tool to have. Not and Brent was right. And I think Corey Hagar said, if you don't have like a skill like Whitney Houston who can sing, then you need to go to college. If you don't have a skill like Bill Gates, I mean, he was in school, but he managed to finish Microsoft Office in his garage and became everyone doesn't aren't giving these amazing skills, so you need college. And I would really advise to go, and you could have so much fun, and you might even meet a great guy in college. And I hear you looking up chat. You said you want to go, but again, yes, put yourself first. You'll never be last, but at the same time, still be humble, still be kind, still be loving to people. But just don't let people take just talk you into things you don't want to do, and don't compare your life to your girlfriends and everybody else. Everybody's not going to have the same situation at the same time. And April Rain, do you want to say anything?
No, no, not at all. I just think back to the topic of what Mr. Brent was saying is that it's important that you put yourself first, because if you don't prioritize yourself, then how can you prioritize one in a relationship? And that just is with I struggle. I have a conflict with myself every freaking day. So I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's from getting up or doing certain things. So I mean, um, I think you have to prioritize what's more valuable, yourself or the validation of others. How can you want someone else to validate you if you haven't validated yourself? So I just think it's important, like, Mr. Brent gave a really great example with the video of him doing self-care while on a family excursion. And you have to put in the work. You have to want to put in the work. And you're at the pickiest, I was saying you're at the pickiest time of your life. Ari, I tell my daughter, like, 18 to like 20 to 20, you're in your 20s for a very long time. I felt like I was in my 20s forever. And
yeah,
so I think from 18 to 30, that is a huge part of your life. And I would tell you, don't waste it on energizing other people. Put that focus and fuel it in yourself, and put yourself first. However you decide to put yourself first, through the suggestions in the chat, through Miss Know-It-All, myself, or Mr. Brent, that's up to you whether you want to take it. But it goes for anybody. I mean, you got, every day you should be pampering yourself somehow. I don't know about other people, but I know I do. I spoil myself every day. So it's not a day that goes by that I don't think of myself. So, I mean, you know, and you're an Aries too, sun goddess. So I'm kind of shocked, but, you
A
know, just
fire
put
sign,
yourself,
yeah.
you know, come on, you're the house of self. Aries, we're the house of self. We're the first house. But, you know, just start pouring. I think you should start pouring love into yourself, and you'll see some things change. And I think this was a great topic, to put self affirmations and self love into yourself, because you won't get any results with any man if you don't value yourself, or if you don't know what you want to value.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's right. And you know what? You got to reflect and you got to do some self intake. A lot of times when I go out by myself, I kind of clear my head. Um, and, you know, insecurities, we all have them. I still have them. You know, at my work, I do a good job and I'm good at what I do. But there's sometimes I think, oh my God, and I'll start praying, God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get through this? What am I going to do about this? And you know, sometimes you need that. And I rely on God, faith, because I believe that's what's going to get me through. Of course, I got to work and I can't sit at home and just pray and do nothing. But, you know, you put in the work and then you pray about it. You have some time with yourself. And, you know, and I look back and I see the negative part of life, but then I look at the positive, and you know what? You know, I have a wife and family that loves me. Even though I'm struggling right now, I can get through it because I've been through worse and I've made it through. And, you know, and that's just life. And sometimes God puts us in a position, you know, I believe, to bring us closer to Him. Because I think the most times I was closer to God, closer to my faith, is when things weren't going so well. And I tell the story about how I lost my job, you know, and I was making 100,000, and after I retired from the Army, and that ripped the rug out from under me. But you know what? I got through it. And later on, I ended up even better. But, you know, so you got to, and I prayed big time about it. I prayed for my wife. I prayed for my job. I prayed for my kids. You know, and you know, I do need my time. I need to clear my head, because life is like a street fight. You go in, you know, there's people that don't like you. You get knocked down. There's negative things that happen. You got to pull yourself up, and you know, but at the end of the day, you're going to make it. You're going to get through it. You're going to be victorious. You just got to, you know, just keep up the good fight, and you know, put yourself first. Now, I'm married to my wife. I could put her first because I know she loves me, and you know, we got a good marriage and good relationship. But when you don't have no one, you got to be first. It's got to be about you. I'm not saying be totally selfish, but you got to put yourself first, because there are people that will take advantage of you. There are people that will try to use you. There are people that will lie to you, and there are good liars that'll make you feel like they're totally into you. So you got to be careful. But that's just what I wanted to say about that.
Maybe she should get on Sun Goddess Ari. Maybe you should call in.
Call in. Well, she can come up if she want. I got the link. I'm not going to pressure, because, you know, maybe you know, I don't want to pressure no one then to coming in. If anybody wants to come in this chat, you can. I'll put the link up there. You know, if you want to talk about this topic, or if there's some little topic you want to talk about real quick, I'll even allow that. But just put yourself first. Like I said, until you're with the one you love, that you're married the rest of your life, you got to be first. Right now in my life, my wife's first in my life. My kids are first. But I know my wife and kids have my back too. My wife's going to be with me. She's loyal to me. So, but if you don't know that person, you can't put them first if you don't even know who they are. So, oh, we're
Exactly.
battle buddies. Yeah, we're battle buddies, Corey. Yeah, we look out for each other. And that's what a marriage is, you love each other, but you're looking out for each other. You're putting that person above yourself. And, a true marriage, you're trying to uplift the person above yourself. But I just wanted to put that out there. But anyway, guys, remember, love yourself.
Yep.
Do stuff for yourself. You know what? You're more valuable than you know. God loves you more than anything. You're so valuable. There's a living God that will have a relationship with you, by yourself. So, people have more value than I think, people have more value than they give credit to themselves for. And, sometimes it's natural to have a little bit of low self-esteem and think, oh man, or, that's just us being human.
Yes. I wanted to say none of us walk in perfection, but we could do little things like April said, loving yourself. And we all have low self-esteem at times. We all insecure about things. And the self-love thing it's real. And I think more people, I think as we get older, we become more comfortable with ourselves. And I think I said it again. And you're more at peace with yourself. And
Yeah, and I think it's through life. We get wisdom as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
We look at life as like, okay, and it's too bad that young kids can't be totally wise and know all, but that's just life. When we're young, we don't know. We got to learn. But that's when we got to be more on our guard, and vetting people, because we are young. We are a little bit gullible and naive, and think things are going to just work out. And a lot of times when we're young, we're not on our guard like we should. Yeah, as we get older, we've been hurt, we've been through life. So yeah, we're a little bit more wise. You're not going to walk up on a 40-year-old woman and play with her like you would a 20-year-old, because she's smarter than that. She's been around the block. She knows what you're about. But low self-esteem, yeah, it is a part of life. But you shouldn't stay in low self-esteem. All of us have our little insecurities. It's human nature. April dropped off. Hey, April, thanks for coming on. If you want to come back on, I'll put the link. I don't know if you dropped off or got bumped off. I don't know. Sometimes that happens. But what was I saying? I got kind of sidetracked when April jumped or got off. Oh, there she is. Hey, April. I don't know if.
Sorry, no, I was clearing my browser and trying to get back to the screen, and so it logged me off.
Yeah, so sometimes StreamYard will kick you off without anybody doing nothing. Sometimes people drop off. So, yeah. Gosh, I lost my train of thought. I was worried about losing you on the live.
It happens. I thought this was a really great discussion that needed to be had. I thought it was a really, I think
And
everyone needs to be reminded of self-care and self-love.
yeah, and what I would say is, I tell you, ladies, and I tell black women, you guys are so valuable and so beautiful, and you have so many awesome characteristics and values. I mean, when it comes to being professional and traditional, um, and I say that so many times, and it's true. I've opened my eyes. And that's not to say other women ain't like that. They are. There are other women like that too, also. But I just want to tell, because a lot of times people are being told, that they're not wanted by another group, or they're not interested in you, and that ain't true. I mean, but that's people play on people's insecurities, and we all have them. Don't let people play on your on insecurities. Just know that you're valuable, and you're beautiful, and it's about you. Do you? It's your world. Make your choices. Don't let society, don't let family and friends decide for you. You decide what's best for yourself. And that's just what I wanted to say. Because you owe it to yourself.
I agree. Low self-esteem is a part of life, but we shouldn't stay there and be stagnant. I agree with Miss Carol on that one.
Very much
That's a good
so.
point.
I agree too. Sometimes it can consume us, though. Some people get consumed by it.
Yeah, and we do. And you know what? Um, the people that are looking for perfection don't have perfection. The ones that'll tell you hit the wall, probably hitting the wall themselves. The ones that tell you that you're not high value aren't high value. Because if you're high value and you're all this, you don't have time to tell people how
And I
bad
think, yeah, and I think people confuse 1 million subscribers with $1 million.
well, yeah, that's probably true.
I don't
I
think
mean,
they know YouTube economics. But yeah, I think people think the more subscribers, the richer you are. So some people equate 1 million subscribers to $1 million.
yeah, no, that ain't true at all. It don't matter how many subscribers you have. What matters is the views.
He
And,
made. Mhm.
and YouTube don't pay a lot of money. I do a video, and we might have, I'll do maybe, I don't know, maybe 160 views. Maybe, a video will do good. I'll get 400 or 500. Some every now and then will reach the thousands. But, I'm making like, I don't know, I might reach 1,000 views, but maybe making like $10 at most. I mean, it's not a lot of money at all. It's to even make money in this, you got to have 1 million subscribers, and the ones that do well get hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, most people that do YouTube, they making nothing. I mean,
Mm.
you know,
But he gets a lot of super chats. That guy.
yeah, and that's where a lot of his money comes from too. And
Yes.
but I'm not in it for that. I'm not. This is a hobby. This is something I like to do. But and I like it because there's no pressure. I don't have to be good at this at all. I mean, I
Mm.
could really suck at this and just talk BS all day, but I'm having fun. I don't have, this ain't paying the bills. And
Mhm.
that's the beauty in it. Because I can say what I want to. Um, but the reward in it, and I don't want to run no one off. The reward in it is connecting with people. The reward in it is talking to you ladies, getting your perspective. You know, um, we're in different places, but we have like a friendship. We have something in common. We're talking about relationships, and we might share our experiences, and hopefully it helps somebody out that's just listening. maybe some advice might help someone. I know I can give advice and it ain't going to fix things, but it might help somebody on the right path, and it might make someone feel good, that's struggling in a relationship. It might make someone think, you know what, I do need to spend time, uplifting myself. I mean, sometimes a lot of times for us to get over insecurities or being hurt from rejection or whatever we have in our life, it's just talking to people, getting people's opinion, their perspective. And maybe somebody, it helps them with their rejection to know that I've been rejected in my life several times. So you're not alone. And I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Rejection has always been my biggest motivation. It has. I don't know why. I've always thrived on rejection, and so it just motivated me to just be a better person.
It's true. It can make you or break you. You just wanted to make you. And talking, like you said, Brent, venting is good to vent. Sometimes people don't always want an answer; they just want to vent. And talking makes you feel better. And if you think people are actually listening, and that who actually really care, so that could make you feel better too, and make you feel good. But rejection could motivate you. Okay, I was rejected. It's gonna make me do better the next time and make me improve myself and stuff like that. Like when I was talking about it yesterday, I don't know if April tuned in to listen. We were talking about a bunch of stuff, and then I talked about fitness. And I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I said about self-love. It's not self-love is taking care of your body. Self-love is being the best version. And you could be a size 10, 12 and be the best version of yourself. So just eating right, being the best version and being happy, good for yourself. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about when someone do reject you. You feel better about if someone do approach you, you can feel confident and not be focused on, so rejection is healthy for you. Fear is healthy for you to a degree, a certain amount, but you just don't let it consume you or cripple you. And talking is good for you because venting is very healthy for the soul. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, no doubt. And and venting, and that's like therapy in itself. You get it off your chest. You say, this person did this and it was wrong, or I'm just using that as an example, but you get it out there and you just feel better. And what really feels good is when someone says, and not to take this the wrong way, but someone says, you know what, I've been through that too. And you are comforted when you talk about rejection, and someone's been through it and they say, hey, I've been through it. I know what you're going through. Not that we want anybody to go through rejection, but just knowing that you're not alone. And that's the thing. And, this channel, I talk about interracial relationships. I'm all about it. I believe it's a good thing if you're into that person and you put that person first. And
it's not based on superficial unions.
Yeah.
I think interracial is good.
And you can have a preference. I do, but you got to vet that too. Because garbage flows in every neighborhood.
Oh, so, God, yeah.
It does. Every group.
Some more putrid than others, but nonetheless, it does.
You know what's funny is my dad always told me, he says, son, he said, I've given you a name and it means something. He says, it's up to you. He said, it either means garbage or gold. And it's up to you what you make it. And he always says, if you tell somebody something, do it. If you borrow money, pay it back. If you don't, your name will go from gold to garbage. So I just thought I'd put that out there. But
those are facts. And when you said it's garbage throughout all communities. It is. I
Yeah,
mean, it goes back to the high value man. I always think of Betty Broderick. I don't know if anybody's heard of Betty Broderick, but she was a woman who put her goals and her ambitions on hold to build her husband up, and he became very high value. I mean, he became a high earner, and it's an interesting story. So I just wanted to say, like, just in general, um, to know your self-worth and put yourself first and love yourself. So that was something I thought about when you were earlier talking about high value. Betty Broderick always comes to my mind. I love that Lifetime movie
Well,
show. It's a
I,
good movie. It's
I
based
had
on a true
yeah.
story.
Betty. I had
Hey,
to look it up. I have to
Mumbly
look it up.
Complex, have a good work night. Thanks for coming in. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Mm.
interrupt. I just wanted to.
I've never
Oh
saw
yeah,
that.
Humbly Complex. Hi.
She said,
Yeah.
"What's what do you?" Brett. She wants to know what you are discussing tonight.
Oh, we're discussing putting yourself first, loving yourself. You know, um, not letting people put you down, taking control of your life, especially when it comes to dating and stuff. Value yourself. You put yourself first, and especially when you're dating and you know marriage and stuff, you got to be selfish because there are people out there that will try to take advantage of you, and you got to put yourself first. And they always say, how can you love someone if you don't love yourself? That's true. And to find that quality person, you got to put yourself first because that relationship's going to affect you. And but that's what the discussion was mainly about. It kind of deals with networking, um, and you got to put yourself first, and you got to find what you want, and love yourself. Don't let people play on your emotions or any insecurities or any of that stuff. Because you're more important than that. It's about you. Make it about you. I mean, it's your life, and whoever you let in, make sure they earn that privilege. It's not a right for a man to have access to you. It's a privilege. And it depends on if you give them that. And they got to earn that. And guys, same thing with a woman. You let her in, she's got to earn that. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
trust is something that's earned. It's not something that you just get. It's something that's built. You don't
yeah,
just
it's got to be
trust
earned. I mean,
somebody blindly. Trust is built through character, through effort, through showcasing. So it's not something that you just, oh, I automatically trust you with my life. It's built off of, I would say, someone's character and what they show you in their actions.
yeah. Well, your decisions and actions in life define you as a person, and how
Yeah.
you treat others. And I would say this, us as men, how we treat you know, our women, our wives, and our families is how God will judge us. If we're not doing right by them, we're headed for judgment. I'm just going to
Yeah.
say that.
That's a powerful statement. It is how you treat yourself and how you treat others is definitely a reflection of who you are as a person. And yeah,
Yes.
I agree. That's a powerful statement.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Kind
it
of
don't.
scary, but I started when you said it, I started thinking of that part in the back of the Bible when it's written all in red. Yeah, so yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and you know, when God gave Adam Eve, He did that so he wouldn't be lonely, so he would have somebody to be with him. And the same thing with us men today, guys. when God gives us a wife, we got to take care of her. I mean, and women ain't here for men to lay with. They're here to be a man's wife, and vice versa. We're here to, you know, according to the Bible, we're supposed to come together as men and women, husband and wife, and love each other and build a family.
Can
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's so funny you said that. I was having a conversation with a male from my community,
Uh,
and you know what he told me? What women are here placed. He said that God made women for men's pleasure and men's pleasure only. He said that. I said, really? And then he said, yes. You and he said, so when men cheat, it's okay because women are made for women men's pleasure, and
no.
that. And I said, well, wait a minute, hold on. He said, so and men have to need younger women. And then I said, okay, so let me get this straight. So we're here for your pleasure, right? So who's here for our pleasure? And then he said, well, as long as you have money. So I said, so when I become your wife at 18, 19, and then when I'm 40, after having children and raising the kids, so you're saying that you're going to basically replace me with someone younger. He said, well, God, women age differently, and God put you here to please us. So we should be able to cheat. We should be able to step out of our marriages. And so I said, so you want an open relationship with your wife? He said, no, of course not. She's supposed to be faithful to me. So we supposed to be here for your pleasure when we're young, up until we get old. So I said, what do you send the old women like me, like in their 40s? You send us to like a concentration camp? So what happens when we become old? He was like, and they never have an answer. They say these crazy things, and they never have an answer for it. And they really have this idea, these males from my community, that everyone is here to please them and to make them happy. And I just had to say that because what you was just saying about a woman being the prize, because we bring life. We carry on your lineage. We we do tend to cater and nurture not just our children but our husbands. But
Yeah.
he felt like our only purpose is to be attractive, young, and make them happy. So I think it's so funny how you.
No. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Humbly
No.
Complex had a question for you too, Brent,
What's
in the
that?
chat. She asked, do you feel being respected is more important than gaining love?
Being respected is more important than gaining love.
Do you think being respected is more important than gaining love?
As it as, as to who coming from who?
Your partner, I'm assuming.
Out from my wife. I mean, they
Potential
both go
partner.
hand in hand. I mean, um, of course she respects me, but she loves me too. I mean, I couldn't see her just being married to me because she just respects me and not love me. That I mean, you got to have both in a marriage. When it's dealing with people in society, I would say it's better to be respected than loved. But when it comes to a marriage, you got to have both. You can't have one without the other, or you don't have a marriage.
I agree.
So I can't say one's more important than the other. They're both important. But like in society, like just dealing with people, they don't have to love you, but they respect you. So they're going to treat you right because they respect you, not so much because they love you. But in a marriage, they gotta love you, or it ain't going to work. They gotta respect you too. You gotta have both. Um, you can't have one without the other when it comes to a marriage. Um, I mean, does that answer the question? I mean, what's more? Are you asking what's more important? They're both important, and usually they go hand in hand. I mean, my wife can respect me and not love me, sure, and I guess she could love me and not respect me too. But you know,
Respect is love. That's what it's about. If I respect you, that means I love you. Especially, yeah, I would
yeah.
think it
I mean,
goes hand in hand.
yeah, you gotta have both. I would say, But if I'm dealing in society or at work or something, people don't have to love me. But I mean, for society to function, we got to have some respect for each other. We don't just go out and assault people because we don't like how they look or just to do it. I mean, there is respect we got to have for one another. She said some marriages have. I've seen people respect their spouse but not love them. You can. I mean, you can respect your spouse and not have love for them. You sure you can, but it ain't going to last. Um, you can look at them and
They
say,
may
"Yeah,
respect them, but they're not in love. You can have love. You can have love for your spouse. That's what it sounds like. They have love for their spouse, but they're not in love.
Or if love fades, what happens?
yeah, maybe." Because some people say, "Dang, you still excited to be around your wife? You still like to do things together? Wow, that's amazing through all these years." And I'm thinking, well, God sent me my wife, and I'm grateful for my wife. Why would I lose that? Um, if you really truly love someone, you want to be with them. But I wasn't just looking at my wife's outer appearance. I was looking at the person. A lot of times, people lose that spark because the only thing they were looking at is the beauty of the woman and the fun they had together when they're young. But as we get older, guess what? You know, the looks go, we gain weight, things happen, we look older. I mean, it's just a natural thing that your body's going to break down, and you're not going to be as attractive as you were at 17 when you get to 47. It's just not going to be that way. And, but if you have love for that person beyond the looks, beyond the physical attractions, then that stuff, you can get through it. You still love the person the same. You're still going to be all right. You know,
And then if women age, then what do men become? I
they
think it's
age
just
also.
all of this notion around women aging, and what do men age to? They don't age either. I think society has this thing on ageism as it pertains to a woman, but what about men? Do they not age?
No, men
You know,
age and backwards. They do Benjamin Button aging for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. They think that they age.
I
No,
only
some
wish.
groups of men think they age backwards. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we all get old. We all age. You know what? Men and women, it's part of life. You know what? But if you're going to marry someone, it's for better or worse, right? It's because you deeply love that person. So guess what? When they age, you're still going to love them, right? And
Hmm.
and they're going to love you because you're aging too. So,
But not to mention, women bodies go through a lot, Brent, when they give birth.
oh
Their bodies
yeah,
go through so much.
most definitely. I mean, women, yeah, their bodies change. They give birth. I mean, that takes a toll. I mean, yeah, no doubt. You're right. Yeah, women's bodies go through more than a man's, of course, because they carry
and that's
children and
the highest badge of honor for a woman to birth your child. It really is. A man a man's man will actually say that and that's where
Yes.
you're getting precise information when a man will actually say, it's a privilege, it's an honor because you could die. You could
And
lose,
you carry
you're
on.
sacrificing a lot. You're sacrificing your body, you're
Yes.
to bring forth life. So a lot of men do value, and you want to
oh
be
yeah,
around the people
definitely.
that value what you value. If you want a family and you want to find someone who's family oriented, surround yourself around family oriented people.
Some
Yeah.
people, yeah, some people don't value commitment, much less marriage. And a woman, she's carrying your lineage. So when you're long gone, as well as she, your lineage carries on. So how do you not value that? It's so crazy. It's like it's men that have those. What I was talking about, this guy, he was serious about it, and it's not just him who think
Yeah.
that. A lot of them really think like that. They really think like, and they don't care. And like fatherhood doesn't mean nothing. Commitment, marriage means nothing to them. It's like divest. Or, oh Lord have mercy, divest, divest, divest. I'm sorry. I'm just being
Um,
funny.
yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I mean, it is a privilege. It is a blessing. And everything about my wife, to me, it's a privilege and a blessing. I mean, and when you talk about childbirth, yes, women do take a chance. My youngest daughter almost lost my wife in childbirth.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, I mean that's very important. And thank God she pulled out of it and everything worked out. But I mean, she went into cardiac arrest on my youngest daughter, and they had to take my daughter 3 months early.
Wow. Well, she was
Yeah.
a premature. She's preemie.
Yes. Yeah. All my kids were premature. My wife had a tough time with um, pregnancy and stuff.
I was
And
too.
um,
I'm sorry to
the
hear
first
that.
one, yeah, the first two. I mean, she had to have a C-section, but she was fine. But my youngest daughter, oh my God, that almost killed her. And
Oh,
yeah, so I mean, it's a serious thing, and and you're right. I mean, women need to. If you're going to have a woman carry your child, you need to marry her. I mean, you need to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean that's a touchy thing. I go into that. I get emotional about that because I almost lost her. I didn't know if I was going to lose my wife, my daughter, or both.
oh
And
God.
yeah,
Thank God we live in modern times.
yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, if
I,
if we were in modern times, I would have lost my wife with my oldest daughter. But um, and then my oldest daughter, when she had her daughter, is like she went into labor and 2 hours later, done deal, gave birth. It was easy. It's like, and my wife's like, "Oh my God, I almost died," and you just walk in there and walk back out. I don't know. Sometimes, um, you know, but
Well, you
you
have a
know,
right to be emotional. That was a traumatic experience.
oh,
That was a traumatic experience at that time in your lives. So,
yeah,
but I do think that it's nothing wrong with bragging on your spouse and putting love on your husband or your wife and bigging them up and saying, I love her, I love him. What I think it's become so abnormal to profess love out loud that it's frowned upon. So I don't see anything wrong with professing your love to other people. That's what you're supposed to do, and that's what the Most High wants. He wants you to do those things. So you're doing
yeah,
the things that you're supposed to be doing as a man. You're supposed to let the world know you're married. You're supposed to let people know you love your wife. You're
that-
supposed to. That's just that's what happy people do.
yes.
They do it in a genuine way, and I don't. I think we've just gotten to a culture where it's like women don't deserve. Women aren't deserving of being acknowledged, or even men. We've come to a point where we don't acknowledge each other, and that's because we don't. It goes back to your point of self-love and putting the work in.
yeah,
So
and, and you're right. You know, I mean, and you know what? You need to tell your spouse, your husband, your wife that you love them because you know what? It makes them feel good. It gives them, they know they're appreciated. My wife knows I love her more than anything in the world. She knows that, but she likes it when I tell her, and I tell her all the time. I like it when she tells me she loves me, even though I know she does. It feels good and it's uplifting. and it makes you feel, loved, even though you know you're loved. I mean, it should be told. I mean, I tell my wife that every day. I love her. I mean, and I hug my wife all the time. I mean, I just do that, just showing her that I love her, and she's still, and I just show her she's still got it. She's still my everything, and always will be.
So beautiful, Brett.
Yes, affirmations are key. That's how you keep a relationship going. That's how you prevent stagnation and boredom and complacement. You should, praise your spouse or say, "Hey, you look nice today," or you did a good. The house looks really beautiful, or the meal you cooked was stellar, or you just look stunned. Just paying compliments is
Y-
it's what you're supposed to do. It should be natural.
Yes, and I was gonna say everything you guys saying is correct, and we all need internal and external validation. And sometimes when you don't say
Yeah.
it for a long time, that can cause strife in the marriage if you never hear it. You never hear I love you. You never hear that constant, validation and affection. And that's one of the reasons why I tune into your channel too, because the way you praise and love up on your wife and talk say such one, it's very rare to hear that. And I'm not gonna lie to you. You don't really see guys like you just professing their love and saying I love my wife, she's beautiful, she's my everything. And when I saw her, I knew I wanted, it's like it's almost like it gives you, it's like a prince and princess like, she found the prince. And it's just so heartwarming. And I think that's what your draw is with a lot of your subscribers. It's just you show, and you're not, and you're saying it with your chest. I love this woman, and I love that I'm with her, and I love that I have a family with her. And I hope you continue to do. I know you will continue to do that. But it's just so
Oh, yeah.
inspiring. It's so inspiring, and it brings me joy when I hear you say it. That's just how I feel.
Oh, I appreciate that. But yeah, I do love her. And you know what? I asked God for her, and He gave me my wife. So I'm very grateful. But yeah, hey guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up.
Absolutely. I'm getting ready to go eat me a pizza. Well, I don't know, man. I don't have any jelly, Brent. Yeah, I'm hangry right now. Yeah, I'm getting ready to hop off too. This has been an awesome live. I don't know where any grape jam, jeez, but I'm gonna eat me a PBJ real quick.
You don't have any.
And I have to say, this was a very therapeutic live. I like the topic. It was some interesting perspectives. Miss Know It All have munch. Oh damn, you put my comment up there too. Miss Know It All, I always enjoy chatting with you. And yeah, it's only Smuckers. It's Smuckers It's the strawberry jam. I don't like the jam. And during the COVID, I swear, it must have been everybody and their mother. All of it was gone. So yeah, I'm a little upset right now, and all of the supermarkets are closed. But
Yeah.
this has been a great live. I got to polish my floors and cut up with all you beautiful people, and everyone in the chat. Stay safe. I look forward to the Bronx Tale review. Brent, I'm gonna send you the link to. I forget this guy's name, but he did a interview like 20 some years later of what they look like, and maybe you can show you can maybe review the clip, but he interviews them and it's really interesting. So I'll
Oh,
drop you the link so you'll have it too. But I look forward to the movie review and
okay. Are
the
you
future
going to
live.
join? Are you going to join the panel on the movie review?
If you want me to, sure.
Yeah.
I've watched The Bronx Tale at least about 80 million times since it came. I haven't watched it probably in about I don't know how about maybe 8 years, 9 years it's been.
Yeah.
But when that movie came out, oh my gosh, I watched that movie like 100 million times because I
Yeah.
thought Robert De Niro was just hot and I liked his mole. So and then when he got, I mean, he was just hot. The guy he picked to portray, I mean, geez, he was fine. He was. fine. And even his little racist friends, his little redhead, he was fine.
He did damn
He was
work.
fine. Like he had swag. He was cute. So I liked the movie. I thought it was natural. They just naturally like. So I look forward to cutting up and talking about the film, and hearing people's perspectives of it. You know.
Yeah. Miss Nora, you want to be part of the panel too? We'll have a.
What day and time is it again?
It's going to be Sunday at 12 noon my time. It'll be 2 p.m. your time.
Okay, I think I can definitely make. Don't hold me to it because I was going to
I
run,
won't.
but I would love to be on because I love that movie. And
Yeah.
De Niro was fine. Even the kid was fine, but he wanted to run life afterwards in real life. But that's another story. But yeah, I would love to do that. I wouldn't mind being on it because I actually enjoyed that movie. I actually forgot about. I haven't seen that movie in maybe 10, 15 years. To be honest with you.
Yeah. And April's like the best co-host. So I mean, but we'll have three of us up there, and I'm going to try to do movie clips too to that movie, and we'll talk about some of the clips.
You
I'm going to look
can.
for.
I'm gonna send you some too because I have a whole bunch.
Okay,
I'm gonna
awesome.
send it to you between today and tomorrow. Yeah, well, tomorrow's like 2 hours away, so between today and tomorrow, I'll send you some clips of some of the excerpts, and they also did the behind the scenes. Oh man, that was yeah. I just kept looking
Yeah,
at Robert De Niro like, oh geez, and Chaz. Oh man, yeah, they were just all of them. I think I was attracted to the power. They just were all sexy. We're gonna talk about the movie. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it, and I look forward to the panel, and I look forward to the people in the chat and what they thought when they first saw it and all that good stuff, and when they review it
yeah,
years later as an adult.
yeah. It was a good movie, and I kind of get into those mob movies. I like watching them. They're kind of
Yeah. It
fun to
was so
watch.
sad, but yeah, I loved it. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I wanted to get with him so bad. He was cute. He was just so cute.
That's all
Hello, Jello.
right.
Kahoo. Kahoo. Hello.
That-
Hey, Jersey, how you doing?
What's up, guy? White guy from New Jersey. He's all late to the party. It's all
Oh, we're
good.
about to
But
shut down Jersey. Oh man, I yeah, I gotta go. I gotta do
okay.
stuff around the house. But ladies,
Absolutely.
hey, ladies, thanks for coming on. You guys are beautiful, and you guys all have great talking points. And April and Miss Know It All. I mean, I love you guys. I always love talking to you, and you bring good perspective, and you make the live, fun, and I enjoy it.
Peace and
And
blessings. Same here. I'm gonna have my bun ready like Jane. It's gonna be a lock bun, but I'm gonna be ready like Jane. Kahoo, yes, I'm ready. No, I'm looking forward to it. But everybody have a blessed night, a safe
yeah,
night, and I'll see you Sunday.
okay, I'll send you the link 15 minutes prior. I'll send it to
Okay.
you, Miss Know It All, and if you can join, join. If not, that's fine too. We'll have a
Okay.
good time, and I'll get those movie clips. I think that'll make it much more enjoyable, and
Yeah.
I think that'll be a nice add-on to the movie reviews because I do enjoy the movie reviews. One thing we got to watch out for is like music,
Okay.
because when we did the Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard, I got a copyright. What's it called? A copyright.
Strike.
Infringement
Not a
thing.
strike. It wasn't a strike. No,
Wasn't that no
no, it was a copyright claim.
warning?
It
Oh,
was a claim. They weren't going to take down the video. No, it was just a claim. The only thing that was wrong with the video is the Whitney Houston song that was playing during the trailer that I showed. Now I could have still showed it, but all the revenue would go to the copyright holder of that song. And I only made like $2 doing it, so it wasn't the money thing, it was a principle.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the work was put in beyond that trailer, that song. So I didn't think they should get all the revenue, even though it's $2. But it kind of took from it because they didn't just delete the music; they deleted all the sound when I did the trailer. So it
wow.
kind of ruined it. If I would have known that, I would have just let them have the revenue and just kept it on. But it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to look for stuff that don't have music so we can. I don't want to get caught in that copyright deal because then I have to go back and change it up
Absolutely.
but
And there's a way to show it without you can do the audio for a few moments without playing without playing the movie. I've seen a lot of content creators do that. They would provide the audio, but they
without
wouldn't show. Yes, because it would be a copy. Yeah,
yeah
it's just what it is. They would just do it for like maybe 10 seconds and they would stop. They would do the copy, but if they just didn't want it to get flagged, and then other people would, oh, this needs to be flagged or whatever. So some people
yeah
will just let you hear the audio
yeah it,
and put where they got the source in their description,
Jazzy,
maybe
and
maybe
yeah,
maybe
Jazzy,
I would have
up.
maybe I would have been okay if I mentioned that the music was on there and we're not doing it to listen to the music. It's
yeah,
maybe the wording because I did put a disclaimer. Um, I just and I wasn't trying to play the song for the audience. I was just trying to do the movie review. Um, but it's kind of a touchy thing. Um, but anyway, yeah. But I'll just do a trailer without the music so we don't get caught up in that. And I'll put the disclaimer. And I think we should be just fine. We're not showing the movie. We're just showing a trailer and some scenes. And, that's fine to do. But yeah, we'll have fun. It's going to be it's a good movie. I've seen it many times. And, I like those mob movies. They're fun to watch. And then this had the interracial touch to it. So that made it awesome too. And I mean, the cast was real good. Great actors. I mean, the movie was really well done. And it takes place in the 1960s, the time era. And yes.
And it's this Sunday at 2 p.m., correct?
Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Put that in my calendar on my cell phone just to remind me.
Okay. I might put it on. I got it on the community chat too. I think I got the times in there. I'm pretty sure I do. Let me double check. If not, I'll definitely.
Well, I look forward to the panel, Brent, and I do love mobster movies too. I love The Godfather and Goodfellas.
Oh yeah,
I've seen The Godfather.
I'm a big Chaz Palminteri
yeah.
fan. I always find him attractive as well. But I'm gonna get off the panel. But it was such a pleasure again. You guys are great. Keep up the love. Keep letting us know you love that Sandy girl. And
oh yeah, Sandy's my everything.
Corey would be cooking a waffle. I'm gonna go ahead and make me. I'm just gonna have peanut butter. I don't have any bananas. I don't like bananas. But everyone have a good night. I'm gonna just gonna eat my peanut butter, no jelly.
Do you have those packets of jelly from like Popeyes?
Girl, no, ew, no. I'm picky when it comes to my jelly. It's just I ran out. Now it's just too trifling to go into the store and get more.
Try some honey.
Ew, no, throw up won't do. Yeah, it's just no, it's okay. It's just it just is what it is. And then he's talking about Belgian waffles, and it's getting ridiculous, Brent. I'm joking. No, I'm just hungry. But everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'll see you on Sunday, Mr. Brent and Ms. Nordahl. You take care. Peace and blessings to you in the chat. All right.
Before you go, I am going to do a late night live Saturday.
Okay.
I don't know what time. It depends on when I get off work. If you guys ain't able to see it, I understand because it might be late. You do the replay. But yeah, Sunday I will do the movie review, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll have fun with that.
Well, I'll look forward to your Saturday night chat. I should be up. I don't see why I wouldn't be. But yeah, I'll definitely be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things when I get off work, I don't expect a big crowd because it's late, but I like doing lives, and I try to do it on the weekends because during the week I can't do much. But yeah.
Well, I look forward to. I should be able to catch it. I'm sure I will be for the midnight one. Midnight your time or midnight Eastern.
When on Saturday night?
Yes.
Saturday night, I don't know what time. I don't know the
Oh,
time. It depends on when I get off work.
I
The
thought you said
Sunday,
midnight. I'm sorry.
no, late night. I meant late night.
Mhm.
The Sunday show will be 2 p.m. Eastern time in the day. So that'll be at a good time because it'll be 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 Eastern. So everybody get to watch that one pretty good.
I
It's
have
just
to.
the late night. I don't know what time it'll be.
I need to watch the Bronx Tale. I gotta rent it before.
Yeah, watch it. It's a good movie. It's
I can't.
awesome.
I remember it, but I don't remember everything.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember it all like it was just yesterday. I love that movie. But okay, Brent, I look forward to the late Saturday night chat you're gonna do, and then I look forward to Sunday as well.
okay. So
Um, I'm I'm gonna go ahead and sign off because all I'm seeing in the chat is people talking about food, and it's making me feel some
yeah,
kind of way.
I'm getting hungry too. I need to.
I'm gonna eat some
Um,
ice. I'm
Okay,
gonna eat some
Mr.
ice
Brent and Miss
cream.
Noah, you guys have an awesome night. Okay,
You
all
too.
good
right.
night,
Thank
chat.
you. Have a good night.
I'm gonna eat some ice cream, Brent.
Okay. Yeah.
Some
I don't
hot.
know. I'm getting hungry. Quit talking about food on the chat.
I know. All right. All right. So I'm gonna let you go. You have a lovely evening. I probably check you out tomorrow night, and I definitely try to tune in Sunday. I have to put in my
No,
calendar.
Saturday night. I'm not going live tomorrow.
What did you? Okay, you said you might do a late night. What tomorrow?
Saturday.
That.
Saturday.
Oh, I keep thinking today's Friday. I'm so
No,
sorry.
it was,
I'm like,
yeah.
my apologies. I'm thinking it's Friday. It feels like a Friday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Friday night off from YouTube because, well, I got to work. But
Mhm.
Saturday night, I'm going to do a live after work.
Right.
That's
No. You gotta
Saturday
do it.
night, Sunday evening.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you Saturday. Yeah, that's what I said. Saturday and Sunday. I have to put
Okay.
in my. I have to put in my calendar. All right. Good night. Be good.
All right. Good night. We'll see you, Miss Know-It-All. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. Be good. Bye
Enjoyed
bye.
it. All right. Bye.
Blessings to you and the family.
All right. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Um, Thank you, ladies, Miss Know-It-All and April, for coming on. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. I always do. It's always fun, and you guys bring great discussion, great perspective, and everybody in the chat. I love you guys, and I love you guys coming on and your comments and stuff. I'm loving it, and this show. I just hope somebody got something out of it. Maybe some advice that might help. Um, and it's good to hear from different people and getting their perspective. And what I would say before I close is just remember, it's your life. It's your choice, and it's about you. Love yourself, put yourself first, and you got to love yourself before you love other people. And yeah, I love you too, Carol, and everybody. I love you guys. It's an honor to do videos and lives for you guys, and I hope you guys get something out of it. And I enjoy doing this for you guys and with you guys, and it's a true blessing. And I mean that. I love doing this. This is awesome. And I just want to say to all of you, God bless you. Love you guys, and God bless you and your family. And I'll see you soon. Saturday night time. will be determined, and that just depends on when I can get home from work. But Saturday night and then Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, we'll do the movie review on Bronx Tale, and that'll be fun. I've been enjoying doing these movie reviews, and we'll have a good time. But anyway, God bless you guys. God bless you and your family, and I'll see you on the next live Saturday night. Have a good night. God bless you.